Good morning. We have a quorum. I call the meeting to order. There are a number of items on the agenda. The first one is information papers issued since the last meeting. There is none. The second one is regrading of the post of Director of Protocol to a post of Senior Principal Executive Officer in the Protocol Division of the Administration Wing of the Chief Secretary for Administration's Office. Let's invite the administration to join us. Now, there is also a paper, and you've been given it. And we would like to seek your views. If you support it, then the proposal will be submitted, will be introduced to the Establishment Subcommittee in the 2015-16 legislative year, and then we will seek approval from the FC Finance Committee. You all have the paper. When you have settled, we'll ask the administration to take us through the paper. Then members will have 5 minutes each, questions and answers included, to ask questions. Mrs. Dole. Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you, Chairman. We're here to seek members' support to regrade the post of Director of Protocol to a post of Senior Principal Executive Officer. Both of them are of D2 level. As set out in the paper, the D of P grade was created in 1963. It was a departmental post, 1 rank only. Before reunification in 1997, this post has been taken up by retired officers from the British forces. As a result of expansion of the duties of this post, the administration wing reviewed the organization of the Protocol Division, and a report was made to the Panel of Public Service in 1997. There was a proposal to upgrade the post of a DOP from D1 to D2, designating it as an open directorate post within the civil service. That means a suitable person will be selected to fill this post. The panel agreed to the proposal, and approval was also given by the FC. Roles and responsibilities of Protocol Division. It relates to protocol-related duties, like extending courtesies to overseas dignitaries and planning and coordinating visits, managing consular affairs, liaising with the Office of the Commissioner of the Ministry of Affairs, overseeing the operation of the management of the government VIP lounge, etc. It involves a lot of administrative, executive, event management, coordination, and liaison duties. They have to liaise with in relation to protocols, and they will also organize official events related to event management and also arrangement of rundown. They also have to give views to the use of national flags and emblems and protocol matters. The PD is also responsible for management of the government VIP lounge at the Hong Kong International Airport, which requires responsive coordination and liaison with different parties, say, for example, the airport authority, airline companies, and law enforcement departments. Well, the head of the PD has to have political acumen and strong communication skills, also strong executive experience, good organization and good management skills, rich experience in administration and operation matters. A senior member of the EO grade who has a wide government exposure as well as a broad training and rich experience is a suitable candidate to fill the job. When the DOP post was upgraded to D2 level, it was always filled by principal executive officer. And it has actually been filled by a senior principal executive officer since the upgrading, and we propose to keep this arrangement. The majority of the duties of the PD is related to the expertise of executive officer. So we think that the post being filled by a senior principal EO is suitable. And it's proved that the operation of the PD has been smooth, and relevant government departments have expressed recognition and satisfaction towards the performance. So we finally regrade this post to an SPEO post, and we think that it's a very suitable arrangement. We finally make a proposal to regrade the P of D to SPEO. We hope members will support it. With your endorsement, we will shortly go to the ESC and the FC. At the same time, we will delete the Director of Protocol post. The post may be deleted, but the name will remain. That is, Director of Protocol will still be the title of the post, but the post itself will be deleted. And if you have any questions, please ask me. Myself and the Director of Protocol will be happy to answer questions. We have Mrs. Doe and also Mrs. Judy Lee, Director of Protocol, to answer our questions. Any questions from members? Mr. Tony Tse, to be followed by Mr. Sin Chung Kai. Mr. Tse, please. Thank you. I don't have any problems with this proposal. I would like to hear from the administration, though, about something in the past few years. The establishment of the protocol division and also its duties. Has there been any reviews? I see that they have some duties to perform, and sometimes there may be a higher workload, whereas others the workload may be smaller. Say, for example, when it comes to the use of national and regional flags and emblems, are there over the time there may already be some kind of standard procedures established. And in relation to administration of consular corps affairs and also events, there may be an increase in workload. So I would like to know the change over the years and whether it has any impact on the establishment and manpower. Well, I don't have any information about the change over it, well, compared to a few years ago, but my understanding is that there is very little change. And I think the members trying to ask whether at different times our workload will fluctuate. There are three major duties. One is in relation to visit, the second one is honors, and the third one is consular corps. That is visits section, honors section, and consular and ceremonial affairs section. Well, say for example, the consular and ceremonial affairs section, we were engaged in organizing the Nanjing massacre. There is a public memorial service, but sometimes it will not be just a duty of a single section, because arrangement and liaison duties are quite substantial, so we will liaise with other colleagues in the protocol division. Mrs. Lee. In terms of establishment, there are 17 staff members in the protocol division with 10 EOs and 7 secretarial and clerical staff members. In the past decade, there has not been any change. In relation to major events, of course, the entire division will be involved. If necessary, we will second staff members from other departments. Say, for example, the honors event, there may be 800 people involved. So workload is quite massive. So we will second about 10 EOs from other departments to help. Our executive officers will know more about the award, the honors award system, and it will be beneficial to possible chances that they may join us later.
That's the first point. Secondly, the member also asked about the use of national emblems and flags and also the SAR flags. It is said that we have gained experience in using those, so there should not be a lot of work. And the question was also about visit by national leaders. In fact, we are continuing to review the use of the national flag and emblem. We'll have to move with the times and also respond to the needs of the community. We would also have to see whether anyone flouts the basic rules, and we would have to rectify the situation, whether it be private organizations or government departments. We'll have to train our staff so we are aware of these situations. Sometimes people outside the government may approach the protocol division to make applications. There are about over 100 such applications, and we have to give advice on those. Mr. Chair, have all your questions been answered? If not, you can wait for a second round. Mr. Sin Chung Kai. I think this is a zero-sum proposal in a way. I'd like to ask you this question. You have always had just one officer in that position. Is it that an EO will apply and then you would change the grade to EO grade? Is that right? Chairman, at present, we make use of an established mechanism to allow the controller of post, who is the director of administration in this situation, to create a supernumerary post which will not exceed 10 years. Now the supernumerary post is applied to this EO grade position. At the appropriate time, the SPEO post, which is now occupied by the director of protocol, if this person has to be deployed, then the EO grade will identify another SPEO to take the place. Every year, we do the exercise to see whether we should continue to do this. And if we say yes, the supernumerary post will continue, and the SPEO will have to take up that post. You mean the supernumerary post has been with us for over a decade? That's right. It has been with us since 1998. Experience and time both show that an SPEO is suited to take up this post. As we said, such a long time has lapsed, and a few SPEO have taken up the D of P post, and we have found that the effect is good. Whether it be the D of P or other heads of departments and bureau directors that we contact often, they have found the arrangement satisfactory, and that is why we'd like to make this arrangement permanent. Another question. I'm looking at the enclosure 2. You call this a SPEO, right? In terms of the grade, how many SPEOs are there in government? Information at hand shows that at the level of SPEO, there should be 54 such officers. In other words, 54 directorate officers in the EO grade. Sorry, I'm not very familiar with the EO grade. Who sits above SPEO? Is SPEO the highest rank in the EO grade? According to my understanding, that is the case. SPEO is the highest rank in the EO grade. Have your questions been answered? Okay, next, Mr. Tam Yu Chung. Mr. Tam? May I refer to the paper? This will not entail any increase in resources. It's just a supernumerary post will be turned into a permanent post. I think there is not a problem at all, and I think it is an appropriate arrangement since it has been with us for such a long time anyway. You will preserve the Director of Protocol title. I think that is important when we liaise with people outside Hong Kong. It's just that the post will be occupied by an SPEO. In fact, a lot of the work is routine. There is not a lot of policy to deal with. I think this is appropriate. If this is the arrangement, you told us there are 54 SPEOs, and all these can be deployed to the PD if necessary. In other words, there is a pool of 54 people to choose from. And after a tour at the PD, the SPEO can be deployed elsewhere again. Is that the case? Does it mean that there is this flexibility? Thank you for the question. First of all, I'd like to say that there are 54 Directorate EO grade officers, but they may not necessarily be SPEOs. I do not have the distinction between D1 and D2 officers. But Mr. Tam, what you said is right in principle. As you know, there are acting appointments within government. D1 EO officers can assume this post in principle. So yes, there is a pool of 54 officers to choose from. Thank you. Any more questions or comments on this paper? If not, that's it for this item. Okay, that's it for this item. Maybe we need to adjourn the meeting for a while to wait for the officers and deputations for the next item to arrive. We'll adjourn for 15 minutes.